All right, so this is a 2011 WRX. I'm going to be replacing the OEM radiator with a Koyo aluminum one. All right, so first thing, you obviously gotta drain the coolant. So you get under here, under the passenger side, there's a little screw right here. So you pop that screw out and the coolant will drain out of the radiator. So I can catch this thing when it comes out. There we go. I only spilled a little bit. Alright, well that was dumb. Forgot. There's a reason why nothing came out in the beginning. It's because I did not pull the one of the caps off. So usually you pull the top one right here. So now, take the bottom hose off. Helps if you use the right there we go. All right, so now we'll just take everything off the top here. So we'll get this guy off, conveniently located with zip ties securing it. We'll get this line off. We'll get this stuff off, pull the overflow tank out. Then the thing should be ready to just lift upwards. What I did forget to do is take the fan plugs. So there's two plugs that power the fans down in there. You can kind of see one right there actually. And then there should be another one on this side, kind of down in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually disconnect these right now before I pull it out and then yank on them and feel like an idiot. All right, not too bad. That one you can reach down in here and pull it off. There's a little tab right there. Little tab right there that you push down and just pull it out. So this one pretty easy to get to. The other one is down here. It's right there. So you just get up in there. I use the screwdriver to kind of help it pry it apart. That one's a little stubborn. So this is off. The radiator should now straight up pull out of the car. All right, so this is a lot simpler than it always is. I always kind of do it the wrong way. So I try to like pull this out, try to bend this, but it doesn't work that way. You actually take your thumb or your finger and you pinch this little thing in and you pinch it inwards. Just like that. Easy. All right, so I got them signed up here. Here's obviously the new and the old on their back, or back facing out. I'm gonna take these bolts off right here, these little 10 millimeters. Take it off so this whole assembly should come off, and then these fans will basically, you know, they're kind of just sitting in there. They're gonna lift, they're gonna sit back in here. Okay, the fans literally just pop out. So they come out, line them up in there, set them in here. You take the overflow thingy, line it up here. So what happens is it just sits on this one and on this one right here. And then this guy plugs in right there. Doesn't plug in very well, so I'm going to put a hose clamp on this guy, but that's where it fits. This goes into the overflow tank. So what we're going to do is we're just going to tighten these little guys back up into here, and then this thing is honestly pretty much ready to be reinstalled into the car. All right, going to just drop it back in, and then we'll clean it up a little bit, start plugging stuff back together again. Okay, one note is that you can see there is a fitting missing right here. This little guy removes, screws off, and it came with two fittings right here. So look at the hose, look at these things. This bigger one's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to pop this guy out. All right, I changed my mind, mostly because I don't want to go inside and look for my Teflon tape. These things have O-rings on them, so I'm going to use that. That should actually seal it up. Pretty much how it's designed to work. So I'm going to tighten this guy up and then start reattaching all the hose fittings here. All right, well, change of plans. I'm going to pull this thing back out again because I cannot get the overflow tank to squeeze in between here. All right, so This thing is still up. I'm going to fill it from here. Got the hose clamp on this line. Definitely feels tight. Same with this side right here. These hoses definitely are not as tight fitting by themselves as the OEM ones. But with these clamps, they seem pretty good. I'm just gonna have to watch it. I may have to put my own hose clamps on. All right, to fill the system, you know, get this thing on there. It's upside down, right? So it's not gonna work, but yeah, we'll try it. You fill it from the top reservoir here. So I've got one of these funnels that are designed for this stuff and they work pretty good. So I use the B fitting. You put O-ring side down, goes in right there, pretty much lays flush in there. And then you use the B other thingy, screw that on, that sits right there. And then you can take this guy and you just shove it in there and it works. And so you can fill it up and you can leave coolant in here and then plunge it when you're done, pull it out and not spill a whole bunch everywhere. So what we're gonna do is gonna fill it up. I poured about 1.5 gallons, almost in right now. So it's getting pretty close. But you can see is that if I pour some more in here, give it a little bit, you can actually see it bubbling. So there's air escaping from the system. So basically, I bought 3 gallons, but I may even need to get more because this thing probably holds a little bit more than it used to. But you kind of want to just keep filling this up. Since the thermostat is closed, you'll have room for more later. But just, you know, wear eye protection so you don't get this shit in your eye because it'll mess you up. But you keep doing that until it actually pools. You can also squeeze this. And you can see that helps. So if you squeeze this return line, when there's a pool in here, and it'll keep sucking more in. So you keep doing that until you basically don't get air escaping. And then you know you're pretty much staged and ready to start the car and do the second round. So I'm gonna keep adding more until I get it basically a little bit of a pool in here. And when I squeeze this, it doesn't, no bubbles come out. It just kind of circulates back and forth. All right, so it's pretty good right now. You can see there's a pool in there. When I squeeze this, you know, you get, it looks like bubbles come out, but there's not really much left. There's definitely air still in here, but I've done almost as much as I'm gonna do with it idle. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start the car. I'm gonna roll it off outside so I don't breathe in exhaust, and going to basically fill this thing up and let the thing run and get up to temperature, make sure that the fans cycle, make sure that the thermostat does its cycle as well, basically. Make sure nothing leaks. This thing should eventually fill up and then drain as I add more to it. And I'm gonna see a lot of bubbles come out, basically. All right, so it took about 30-40 minutes. You can see, you could have seen, got up to 205. Would not get any higher, which is a good thing. Had the fans running. They kicked on and off pretty quickly. Didn't go full blast, but that's because it didn't get up to temperature or it didn't get hot enough for it. No leaks. Bubbles did stop eventually from here. You can see it definitely went down. Started around there and definitely took some. So the thermostat cycled fully a couple times. Everything seems good. No leaks were found. I'm gonna let the car cool off because this coolant is it's very warm. So I gotta let this thing cool off before I evacuate this deal right here. And then we'll basically just put the caps back on and it should be good to go. Should be good to drive around. So the next track day will be the deciding factor of this, whether this worked or not.